I would drive around town, try and find my friend, take me to visit and stuff like that. But I lived on the farm, and my mother didn't drive, and there's no way farm people are going to drive you around to find your friend. So I didn't even, there's no way I expected it. But I always kind of had this feeling to connect with her again. And it would be like underneath, almost subconscious kind of feeling. And I'd kind of look in the newspaper, and but I realized that by the time she was marriageable age, she wouldn't have the same name, and she wouldn't look the same. So, but anyway, the other day, it happened. I'm looking in the obituaries, and there she is, and they had put her maiden name, so that's how, and her married name, so that's how I knew. So I decided, okay, I'm going to go to this funeral. So I went to the funeral, and and nobody knew me there. I didn't know anybody there. I did get to talk to her daughter and her son and her granddaughter, and I was telling them about this little remembrance that I had with their mother, and I told them that we went like me to her family for dinner and her to my family for dinner. It would be like our first trip away to somebody else's house. Well, when she came to my house, we couldn't get her to come inside. She sat outside under a tree and waited us to finish dinner. I'm sure her parents wondered why their child was so hungry when she got home. When I was at her house, she had gotten sick by mid-afternoon, and they had her lying on the couch with a throw-up bucket next to her. And then I'm over sitting at the table with her family, and they had oyster stew. And I had never seen nor heard of such a thing. And I kept cracking these crackers all over the top of this bowl of stew so that I wouldn't have to take a bite. I knew her mother was finally going to say, honey, aren't you going to eat your dinner? But I have never eaten an oyster since. And if anybody says to me, do you want oysters? I don't say no, thank you. I say, no. But at the end of the funeral, I kind of looked at all her pictures and her high school pictures and all that stuff. And then I realized, I forgot the important thing to tell you. In the midst of my telling her family about this, I burst into tears. I hate that. And they were very sweet and very sympathetic. But afterwards, I'm looking at her pictures, high school pictures and stuff, and I'm realizing, I got an immediate next best friend as soon as she was gone. I'm sure she did too. We both had friends all of our lives. It's not like we needed to grow up together or anything like that. And I wasn't even sad about her dying, 82, that's a good run. And I realized, okay, those tears are about the fact that I didn't cry when it happened. And my teacher, Reverend Don Ringness, used to tell us that when you have emotion that you just stuff, and you know how little kids do that? They just go right over the top of it and go out and skate or play with their friends or something, and they don't want to think about it because it hurts them. And so he says it's like having a big beach ball that you're trying to keep it pushed under the water, and it takes your energy. Maharishi tells us that when we meditate, we tiptoe through the sleeping elephants. I love that phrase. And what he means by that is when you meditate, you will eventually stumble across the things that are in your subconscious mind that are just stuck there with the energy that you didn't expend on them, and it will pop up, and then it's gone. And I realized that was the case. It was gone. So, reiterating our subjects for the month, patience, I think 86 years is enough patience for anything. So, patience, acceptance, I do accept the fact that that's how our lives went. And so, life flows on.